So there's this story in the ancient China of a 90-year-old man who is known as Yugong. And Yugong means the foolish old man. You see, at the front of Yugong's house, there were two large mountains. And these large mountains, they were blocking the easy access to the village beyond. So when others who are passing by, when they see these large mountains, they see these mountains and they resigned themselves to the inconvenience of these mountains, meaning they feel very intimidated by the presence of the mountains. However, Yugong, on the other hand, decided on a radical solution. Yugong decided that he would remove the mountains. So with nothing but shovels and sheer determination, Yugong and his sons began digging. Day after day, they were digging, cutting away the rocks and the earth bit by bit. Then a neighbor who we can refer to as the wise old man mocked Yugong's plan. He was like, "How silly of you, Yugong, to think you can dig up these great peaks." He laughed. "You will never finish this task in your entire lifetime." But Yugong simply smiled and he famously replied, "When I die, my son will carry on. When they die, my grandsons will carry on." You see, as high as these mountains are, they can't get any higher. And with every shovel of dirt, they go even lower. So why can't we clear them away? Yugong confidently replied. And as the old man kept digging every single day, unwavering in faith, according to the legend, the gods were so moved by Yugong's perseverance that they sent divine beings to carry the mountains away on Yugong's behalf. And what was foolish to short-sighted skeptics like the wise man turned out to be wisdom in disguise. Wisdom that with consistent effort and a bit of heaven's help, even mountains can be moved. You see, this entire story is often told to Chinese children to teach them resilience. This story carries such a profound perspective on time and consistency that I want you to understand in this video. Yugong wasn't deterred by the enormity of the task or the meagerness of his daily progress. He embraced a time frame beyond his own lifetime. He focused on process rather than his own personal reward. So for Yugong, each day's task was its own justification. In a way, Yugong exemplifies the stoic virtue of perseverance coupled with deep patience. Yugong understood that meaningful change often unfolds on a scale larger than one's lifespan. And you can even understand this already because the Stoics advise us to plant trees whose shade we may never sit in. Yugong literally landscaped these trees for entire generations to come. Yugong's mindset also challenges our modern obsession with quick results, our modern obsessions with short-form content, our modern obsessions with scrolling on Instagram, with scrolling on Twitter, our modern obsession with getting scared with bigger tasks, with bigger projects, and we often abandon goals that don't show immediate progress. We see them as impossible things to carry out. And Yugong would remind us that impossibility is often impatience in disguise. So what if we adopted Yugong's long-term view? Maybe, just maybe, we might find that many obstacles, personal, societal, environmental, can be overcome with sustained effort, passed forward, even if we won't see the finish line ourselves. So I want you to consider the mountains in your life, the daunting challenges that feel too big to tackle. Perhaps it's a large debt. Perhaps it's a health recovery that you're on. Perhaps it's a business you want to start. Or maybe you're just learning a new skill from scratch. The foolish old man's story encourages you to start chipping away, however small the first shovel might feel. There is wisdom in breaking down big grand endeavors into daily humble tasks. There's wisdom in breaking down what you want to learn into smaller bits of tasks. There's wisdom in breaking down your business steps into smaller tasks. Don't worry about scaling just yet. Just start even small. Maybe you even want to write a novel. Why not commit to a few paragraphs a day? Maybe you're trying to get out there. Why not take small walks every day before you even start working out in the gym? Why not try to do few workouts at home? Why not start small? The skeptics, even the ones in our head, might snare that such minuscule actions won't make a dent. But just as each bit of the earth removed made the mountain slightly smaller, each modest effort reduces the task ahead. And crucially, consistent action builds momentum and credibility within ourselves. So what was once immovable begins to shift. In the case of Yugong's story, 1,000 steps becomes 2,000 steps. 2,000 steps become 3,000 steps. Eventually, you get to 10,000 steps. Eventually, you lose the weight you'd want to lose. I know it's easier said than done. because we as humans, we are wired to get excited by the result, and we are wired to get scared by the process. So what if you embrace the process? What if the process is the work? What if you commit to getting better day after day? You don't have to do this all by yourself, and that's why I'm building this community, which I call the LockedIn Mindset community. And I've done a lot of work to come with the tools that you need. For example, we have a mobile application on the Apple Store. It's being released, the first version. We're working on the second version, but the first version is being released on the Apple Store. So you can download the LockedIn Mindset mobile app, and in the LockedIn Mindset mobile app, you have what I called an execution engine, where each day you set what you want to commit to, and each day, and that helps you commit to smaller steps. That helps you build small habits. And the deepest thing about the LockedIn Mindset mobile app is that it's gamified. So if you're actually moved by the result, if you're actually moved by the end, and you find it difficult to commit to the process, you find it difficult to get excited by the hard part you are on, you are going to get locked in points every day. So that trains your brain that, oh, that gives you that dopamine effect. The result that you're looking out for, you're getting that every day. But what you don't know is that the points actually amount to something bigger at the end of a long term, at the end of 3 months, at the end of 6 months. You're able to actually cash the points as rewards. And we're working on the rewards as, for example, clothing, apparel, hoodie, premium hoodie that you'd get as something super expensive on the market. You can get them for cheap because you actually committed to something, because you stayed disciplined, you were consistent with your journey. So you'll be able to amass locked in points, and you'll be able to use that to cash a clothing. And this is what I'm building. This is why I'm here on this channel, to help you build the same journey. With the story I've shared, I'm building something that actually transcends my generation. I'm building something that generations to come would see, just like the case of Yugong's story. The LockedIn Mindset will continue to evolve. Even this is day one for me on this YouTube channel. This is my first video. I'm saying it here, I'm putting it out there, and this is why I started with this story, the story of the foolish old man. This is why I started with this story, that I'm going to come back here every time, very regular, to give you value, because this is my community. So what's the takeaway from all this? What do I want you to live with from this video? I want you to understand that no great thing is created suddenly. Epictetus said, a grape needs time to ripen. The foolish old man story, Yugong's story, is the embodiment of that truth. It offers us a gentle but powerful assurance that with patience and perseverance, even the heaviest burden can be made light. In the case of the story, the mountain was made light. The gods moved away the mountain. We might not have the gods to swoop in on our behalf and finish that task on our behalf, but we have something nearly as divine, the help of others, the help of this community, the help of the LockedIn Mindset community, and most importantly, the grace of time. So you want to take advantage of time. Each day you want to commit to something small. You want to consider small progress, and you want to stand on the grace of time to be able to achieve whatever you want to achieve. So by inspiring those around us, or those who come after us with our dedication, we'll find allies to join our cause and multiply our effort. I've already said it. That's my community, the LockedIn Mindset community. So that when you're faced with your own mountain, remember the foolish old man story. Begin with one shovel of debt. Celebrate each small progress. Trust that over days, over months, over years, the silhouette of that mountain is going to change. And even if you don't see the task completed, you would have moved it significantly, and you would have inspired others deeply to carry on the work. In consistency lies not just the power to achieve, but to inspire hope across time. My name is Blessing. I want you to stay locked in, and I'll see you in the next one.